not be? Yeah, how could it not be? 'Cause I found His strength inside of me, and I found His love surrounding me all the time, all the time. So have a little faith, you'll find your keys to your heaven's door. So have a little faith, you'll see the walls of Jericho fall. So have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith. So have a little faith, you'll find your keys to your heaven's door. So have a little faith, you'll see the walls of Jericho fall. So have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith like Jesus. So have a little faith, you'll find your keys to your heaven's door. So have a little faith, you'll see the walls of Jericho fall. So have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith like Jesus. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Usually we will start with a protocol. I've just noticed that there are dignitaries, but I can exclude myself from the number that you have in mind. I see MEC Bulwane. I see Ntate Reed. Actually, we were in the same lift, Ntate Reed. Actually, kind of made me feel better because I thought about, taking the stairs to second floor from the basement. So when I bumped into him, and he was also in the same lift, I didn't feel as unfit as I actually would have felt. And Kewanan Tate Khwarai as well, the president, Kewanale Gaba. I'm not sure if protocol allows me to just, call him Gaba. But these are, I'm not 50 yet, but in 1982, if I'm not mistaken, 1982, in my grandmother's lounge, we were watching the final Men's Day Cup, where these two gentlemen made Bloemfontein very proud. And for them to still be here, because I was born in 1976, just in case you're wondering. I was born in 1976. And they are still here, looking just as young as I am. So let's just give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Will, last name Kichweni. I'm born Kobuchabela, Kotswai. So everyone, Orata Monad. When I look at Kayla K, at the back of Kayla K, there's this old municipal houses. The other one is facing Kobuchabela School. The other one is facing directly to Kayla K. My grandmother used to go the one that faced Kobuchabela Primary School, which is, where I also went for my primary. Never had to worry about lunch money, break. I just ran to my grandmother's, have lunch, and back to school. That being said, we are going to make sure that we have as much fun. I see you guys are so serious this morning. And I tried to tone it down. Under normal circumstances, I would have had on my suit and my tie. But I realized the program that was sent to me, how bona Ntate Bulwane, bona Ntate Reed, bona Gaba, Ntate Khwarai, tried to be an in-betweener. So I tried to wear a jacket as part of the in-betweener, but cap, I couldn't leave it behind because it's a reminder that we must always be kind. So that being said, I'll call upon Tate Moruti, atlo re bulela ka thapelo. Tate Moruti, if he's here, Asiko, then I'll have to volunteer any one of you to come pray for us, and then we will know ki mang a rapelang every day and who is not. Any volunteer? Oh, I can't see, this light is just right into. All right, Ntate Moruti kopa otle kopa re emeng ka maoto. Ha Ntate Moruti. Ke mme, ha mama ntse tle kopa re emeng ka maoto. Ha mama ntse ikatumetse.
Aquí kine ki sela adi rapa ki pa tohaki le swalo Jesu
Parekwa le mahlo kaofela ha rona. Morena le modimo wa ka ntate ya lokileng. Le hoseng ha kajeno morena le modimo. Re ya leboha morena le modimo wa ka ha o re pepile ho tswa matlong a rona malapeng a rona ka ho fapakana ntate ya lokileng. Ho tla re tlisa mona ntate ya halalelang. Morena le modimo re kopa bohlale bo tswang ho wena ntate ya lokileng hobane o ile wa re ha re tshepetse ho wena tsohle di tla loka. Ntate ya lokileng o leleke meya e mebe ntate ya halelang ka hare ho rona empa bohlale bo tswe ho wena ntate ya lokileng molemong wa dikolo tsa rona ntate ya lokileng. Ntate e ba le rona ho fihlela re be re qeta re be re tsamaya re ya malapeng a rona re bolokehile ntate a lokileng. Ntate ke kopa tsena tsohle ka Jesu Kriste morena wa rona, amen.
Mama, and I think I was also exposed there for the stereotypes that we that we cling to. I automatically presume or assumed Mama, the pastor will be Ntate. Thank you for a very subtle correction there. So now we are here. I think this is the second year, and I was able to retain the tender last year. I was still doing the same job as I'm doing this morning. I was still the MC last year, but it's a pro bono tender, so there won't be any transaction, there won't be any money coming into my account. But you know, when you are raised by a teacher, my mother was a teacher. Up until matric, probably myself and Tony Khorok and few others were the only ones banemba para uniform ko kailang. And everybody else ona baya ko skolong ka hebiti le Nike, but my mom was having none of it. So education, leskolo, they still hold a very special place in my heart. And every time kibwana that beautiful work, team's dynamic, hokopansa the SGBs to make them prominent, to reposition them into our communities. I couldn't help but accept the invitation. And you may also have noticed that every time or any name that Ansgar Institute, it's a serious business. Men, whatever institute, they are doing some serious stuff there. So Free State is a Free State School Governing Bodies Institute. I've been watching it from afar, and just this morning as we're sitting here, a couple of things had to be changed. And I just said to the president, actually what this thing should remind us is the journey of entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur now for 5 years. I'm still a recovering banker. After 15 years as a banker, I decided to take a leap and join the entrepreneurship journey. And you come to learn as an entrepreneur that nothing goes according to plan. Actually, the only time things go according to plan, kiha uliko corporate. You know, remember honali the strategic session, January. And then after that, they will set you goals for the year. Retinani, we're expecting 10 billion rand from your portfolio, increase at 12%. My fellow financial services corporate member is here. She will definitely know what I'm talking about. So there will be some changes to the program purely because this is not only run and managed by entrepreneurs, but where you do not adapt, you will die. Like I said, my name is Will, and I will then call upon Tate Tinane. Atlo welcome everyone. I introduce what the main reason we are all here this morning. And then afterwards, I will make an announcement as to who should follow. But suffice to say, what you have in front of you as a program, we have changed the program, not just a little bit, but quite significantly. Please, let's give Ntate Tinani a round of applause as he ascends the proverbial stage.
Dumelang batho. You know, the thing with me and Mike's, I'm always contested by these things. I'm short, so I have to adjust. Like I was Musabetsi wa ka ho mongata awa ke batlo etsa musabetsi wa president ya rona Ntate Vani. I'm only requested to do introduction of proceedings. I know my colleagues from Minolta back there. They hear English better than Sesotho. So I actually wanted to leave my African languages at home this morning, but I wanted to leave English at home, but I had to bring it with. I'm working, I've been acting all my life. Ever since the institute was formed, I've been acting chairperson of the board. Now, President said I must act as CEO. So that's what I'm currently doing. I'm the acting CEO of the Free State School Governance Institute. First of all, let's just give you a brief overview, because there's a colleague of mine from Minolta who said, I'm going to know who you are today. Are you there, sir? Are you there at the back? Who was asking me yesterday? It's you. Yes, the Free State School Governance Institute, but it's a normal school governing body association. You know that all school governing body associations are formed according to Section 20 of the South African Schools Act. Any school governing body can join any school governing body association of their choice. So we are formed according to Section 20. We are the youngest school governing body association in South Africa. I don't remember, unless in Gauteng they have formed another one. But at the same time, we are the fastest growing. We are growing faster than even some that I don't even want to mention. We are formed in 2020, or 2021, President. 2021, it means we are less than 2 years, if my calculations are correct. So we are currently operational only in Karib district, Lijwaleputswa and Moteo. That's where we are currently operating. Our vision is to close these two other districts before the end of the year, because for a school governing body association to operate in South Africa, let me put it like that, you need to be recognized by the department. I also see as a fly by night, you are doing your thing at the corner, they know. But unfortunately, I don't know, do we have colleagues from SADU today? That bricks. Yes. Yes, beautiful. By in the chairperson Bulwada, by in the strike is hard for a month, so we could not do anything. So whenever exercise a matter award. That is why we moved our breakfast from February to here, membership. But the colleagues kizo na ditaba tsa rona ne ke kopa fela re be dithapelong our colleague o qeta o tloa meswana from ABSA o qeta o ba le accident ka mo ya koloi ka fatshe. But me Zakiti is coming o tla atlo etsa mosebetsi wa hae re mo rapelle fela, you know, re ntse re na le yena, suddenly you have a car accident outside. So our let's also welcome Me Kanya Mufukeng. Are you here? Oh, she's the she works for Sanlam. If you know the story of South African financial services, that they will, you would know that Sanlam now is black owned. It used to be white owned for a very, very long time. It's owned by Ndate Patrice Motsepe, I believe. Or maybe part of it, but I know that his ownership in Udemo. So we called Sanlam today, because remember, part of the work that we're doing to review your policies is also to write your asset management policies, you remember? So the assets at school must be protected. With Minolta, we had a roadshow in 3 towns, in Tabanju, Bloemfontein, and Busabelo. We ended yesterday in Busabelo. They are coming with very nice smart screens where you don't have to use chalkboards and whatnot. But the issue would always be security for these assets. So let's have a discussion and see how can we help our schools to secure their assets today. Let me welcome all my chairpersons. All. May I please see your hands? Okay. Only 2. Okay, all right. Our principals, see our principals? By show of hands, only 2. Okay. Oh, welcome. Want to welcome colleagues. Let's also, I will tell you, colleagues, this event would not have been successful if it went of support of Minolta. Let's see our colleagues from Konica Minolta back there. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. It's the only photocopy company in Bulwana that does not charge schools too much, I hope. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, colleagues. We really, really appreciate it. Now, in closing, before I recognize more of our colleagues, let me talk about our keynote speaker today. Our keynote speaker is going to be Ntate Bulwana. I know you know him very well from our Congress movement, but today we already kept a Free State Legislature, chairperson of chairs. Challenger Nalion and Tadibuluan came to our South African Schools Act. I know you facilitated the public hearings for amendment of South African Schools Act, but we realized that there are some of the challenges that would still be there even after the Bella. The act is being signed off as an act. Number 1, Renali Section 16 Big A of the act. The principal represents head of department. But there's always a challenge when principals are acting against fraud, corruption, and other. We have only one provincial law in SASA in the Free State, which is 263. Code of Conduct for members of the school governing bodies, which is very old. Kia 2006. It was last signed by Mayor Oumazop in 2006. All these years up to now, we've never had and if we you apply it, how only do misbehavior, you would see only disparity between one and South African Schools Act. We need to work on that. That is why we call to number 2. Renali Section 18 of South African Schools Act, the constitution, the school governing bodies. We don't have a Gazette Free State. It means every school buying online the way by choosing, and sometimes we are writing into so we are pleading with you. I will give you a lot, because we actually said, and the president maybe the best way is to petition the MEC to legislature for this things to move faster, because I know even under NASJEP, so we've been doing this for the past, I don't know, close to 10 years, but it's still not changing. How can you have South African schools that was last reviewed or amended in 2011 before the legislature starts a new one? Ububali code of conduct SGB at 2006. It doesn't make sense. So dikolo tse se di fitile training ya rona di SGB ke a tshepa la tseba re bua ka eng akere. Sentse ke tlo qeta colleagues, let me welcome our colleagues president, our rural schools. In the FSGI we formed a program called Rural School Support Program that we have launched I think about last week, and then we enrolled about 10 schools across the province. And that mabaso re na le bokae? Le 3 Bothaville. Yes, and then we have about 5 here. And then let me just welcome the principals of our beneficiaries, because bona compared to us colleagues, you know, because role ya bona ntse le bana ba 80, 100. So we said, let's give them our services stars FSGI free of charge. We had their training, I think, just a week ago. Go Brainflay Combined School. Let's see, Khosofalo Primary School. Mami, okay, may I see a pomo? Oh, you want to let it move a moloka plagas, unsarel. Kikopahomo Pelomazoki principal or principal or no Khosofalo Primary School is one of our rural schools. Metamine, where are you, ma? Camera, you put an angager. Yes, the principal of Putanan Kilo Tenkamul. I can say years telling. Principal, we say, Hano Honovating, our deploy our sister teams dynamics, our team. Messetlo. Okay, and I'm not sure about others. Do we have Willows Primary School? We don't. Do we have Dr. Bethwell Setai? We don't. Kisile ma metamin. Different yes, let me. Only representative principal of Memola to the without Romela representative. Do we have? Okay. No, beautiful. Okay, colleagues. Since let's. You know, for a very long time when I was born in Busabelo, by the way, in Tetema Bush. We always knew of the story of Tuselet. So I think everybody knows about the great Tuselet. And all my life, I've always wanted one way or the other that will to be connected. He's here with us here today again. Yes. Thank you so much. Mhlomong programming utlamofa fela hanyani. He's kind of the old Google, the thick book, encyclopedia. He can speak for 5 days. The story is unlimited, you know. But he wrote a book. The copy guy that the book I did them one colleagues. We are going to give you some of them today, but it's only 450. Is it? 450 price at 400. On a second 50 rand FSGI. So book I think 400. So. You can actually just sit home and read and benefit from the story. Every time when I'm preparing for the SGB, you know, training workshops, and I always read it as an inspiration. Thank you so much. Let's give him a round of applause. Okay, and but let's welcome our colleagues. Ntatema Baso, Udutika Pelgamana is our chairperson here, FSGI in Lejolupuzo and Nala sub-region in Bothaville. Let's welcome Ntatema Baso is here with us. Thank you. Let's welcome our Deputy Chairperson of Lejolupuzo, Mme Popi Mashia, Ozakomo Sala Secondary School in Alan Ridge, Nyakalong. Thank you so much. I don't see our SG. Is Mem Nakani here? Mem Nakani? Oh, she's not here yet. Our Chairperson, Datimpondo, is he here? Oh, Mtlomulena Haso Fitli Ager. No. Program Director. I will come back, but I won't leave here until I tell you the story of our members. Ne? We have our SMME members because I get particularly the schools in the urban areas that well, they came together nicely to buy as a group because really FSGI. I'm sure that our allocation for all our members is beyond 200 million. You know, if we go and check, it's a lot. So, but we are fragmented. O mong o reka stationary kwana, o mong o reka. We thought maybe later on we can have like a procurement. Did you kind of revisit it? There's a word for it. Procurement consortium to say let us buy in one group. Last year we helped Chulezang. Remember, are you here? Do you have colleagues from Chulezang Primary School? Okay, and Atlahan Tatekopano, where are you? Chairperson, last year we drove the everyone to Johannesburg to find stationary ship for them, so that we can cut costs, so that we can be able to pay for other things. So we have corporate members. Currently we still have Minolta. You are joining as a corporate member, I believe, colleagues. We currently have Standard Bank and Tepa Trading as our corporate members, and then we have SME members. Let's welcome Medidi. Are you there? Thank you, Medidi. Yes, key member Yarona FSSGI SMME, who manufacturer, we started cleaning detergents. And then on the left here, the unique favor security services. Dadum Tai. Rogai. Here, but whom we are Elififiana president here. Our colleagues are here, but security company. Renale, our member, we had the CEO of New Grain. He had a challenge in Johannesburg to come through, but he said he will deploy somebody on his behalf. Do we have anyone from New Grain? Maize Mill? Okay, because New Grain, President, they manufacture maize meal. We ate it, go Bainsflay. Very nice and nutritious. And we also have Tsepo. Where is Tsepo? Tsepo sells white paper. Tsepo, are you here? You are representing him? Thank you so much. May your company name is complicated. Quenelo. Yes, they are our corporate members. And then we have our accountants, consultant. Do we have Ndate Mahamo, Pialo Mahamo? Or representative from consultant? Okay. It seems like at Habayo Muna, unless le bapala ka rona. Colleagues, I ke sa o bisa ka go lebala. I kere go tu kgomo ha enye boloko kaofela. So let me take this moment and thank you, Dr. Well, for giving me an opportunity to speak here. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right, now it's time for the president. All right, this is the moment where we pause. Thank you. All right, just before we call the president, I mistakenly referred to Ntadetinani as the president, and I hope that this will not end up being, let's not invite Will again next year type of a situation. President, my humble apologies. We have media from the Free State TV. We also have the which other media? FS Online, thank you. And we are live. Apparently we are live. One Free State. Actually, we met One Free State in 2022 as WN Capital, our small spaza bank. My wife and I started a small spaza bank, which is why I left corporate to go and try it out. I'm grateful that you guys are still here. And I think a couple of events in the province, now they have put our local media out there. We know now that it's possible. You know, when my younger sister did her first year in law, and then second year, she was like, you know what, big bro, I want to do production. I was like, what is that? No, I want to be in the media, but is there money there? And then she didn't listen to us, which I'm actually grateful for, and then she followed her heart. She followed these emerging companies that are slightly, gradually becoming, prominent in the affairs of the province. That being said, can I call upon Central TV, and this gentleman actually greeted me as I walked in. Now I'm leaving him out. My sins are just piling up. Now, can we please give a round of applause for the president?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm used to the podium. Now, when the stand is this side, the podium, I want to divide myself. Welcome once more, colleagues. But I want to greatly acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Ntate Bulwane. Thank you very much. Ntate Bulwane is the chair of chairs, and there's a work that he was busy doing. And 3 days ago, Ntate Bulwane, I was grateful that the NCOP, 8 provinces in the NCOP has voted for the Bella Bill. And I was grateful again when the National Assembly, the majority voted and accepted the Bella Bill, and the president will sign it as a law. And that is the work that we have been doing all throughout. We are grateful for that, Ntate Bulwane. You are welcome. And I also want to acknowledge the master himself, Ntate Khwarai. You know, your presence is always a light, because how bua like Ntate Tshidiswa buile, you are well informed and you are sharing information, and we are grateful that you are here. FSGI is a diverse organization, so today we are also graced by the legends that we used to see on TV, but because FSGI also is going to invest in the sports, that is why today we are having 2 legends with us, Ntate Benjamin Reid. All of you, those that knows Celtics, you will remember Ntate Benjamin Reid scoring goals left and right. He's here with us, Ntate Benjamin Reid. We acknowledge your presence. And he's not alone. He's with Barnes, David Modise. We know that David Modise played Leo Timizeding. So that David Modise and Benjamin Reid are going to play a very much important role, because FSGI, I think you will hear when the program goes, we are going to embark on sports development. And our belief, there's a time when I was discussing with the late MEC, Ntate Tate Magwe, and Tate Makalo, we said, you know, if we want to develop sports in school, we cannot do that alone, because the teacher is a teacher. And the teacher will never have enough time to deal and develop sports in school. But involving the legends, people who, you know, who are in this journey with us today. We were talking outside that we will engage further and see how far do we take the development in the schools. Colleagues, our journey has started with 2 steps, and today we are moving very fast as a fast-growing association in the Free State, but not only in the Free State, because now our strides and our highlights are discussed in other provinces. We are invited in Limpopo to go and establish or open FSGI. Now, we don't know when we open it in Limpopo. It will never be called FSGI now because we'll be taking over the country. Northwest has invited us. Even Northern Cape, they invited us. It shows that we are here to make change. So our strides are very growing. Ntate Bulan, we are inspired by the Freedom Charter. That makes us to push forward because there's a clause in the Freedom Charter that says the people shall govern. And the only way that we will govern in the school is through this kind of structures and through the SGBs. So we are inspired by the Freedom Charter that we must take that forward. And we will never leave that because it's a mandate of the governing party that this must happen. So we are not going to leave that. Colleagues, in this journey, we strive to harmonize the governance in every school in the Free State. And how we are going to do it is to interact with the school governing bodies in every school to make sure that the governance in our schools is properly done. That is why we want to professionalize. That is why we want to professionalize the governance in the schools, so that it should not be just an issue of by the way. It must be the issue of doing things the proper way. That is why FSGI, we are making sure that we don't just go into schools and become the association like others that have been here for over 10 years, but you don't see the change. The 2 years that we have been existing, if you go to the schools and ask about the presence of the FSGI in those schools, you will understand and you will see the changes. That this is what has been missing in the process. Because we make sure that the South African schools, it becomes the center, becomes the core of the business of the school governing bodies, other than what was happening. So in this journey, we cannot do this alone. That is why we are having this business breakfast to engage with other stakeholders, with business people, with leaders, with different structures, to make sure that as we embark on this journey, we go along together. Because the education and the governance, it's a societal matter that doesn't need the individuals to go alone, but it needs the stakeholders, the teamwork, so that we make sure that the change that we want to achieve, we achieve them together. It won't be right that as I sit with the MEC and advise the MEC around the issue of the governance, that I only focus in the schools. That is why we embark and engage with stakeholders, partner with stakeholders, work with stakeholders, so that as we advise the MEC, we advise the MEC in a broader spectrum of governance, because governance is for all of us. I'm talking business because people like your Minolta, people like your Tepa, your Nashua, these people are doing business with schools. Now we have to come together and see how do we help schools. It shouldn't be the issue of coming to do business and go home. It should be the issue of you doing business with the school. What is that you are doing for the school? Because as we look at the schools now, other companies are doing the business with the school, but the schools are bankrupt. What is that you are doing, the business people? What is that you are doing to assist the very same school that you are getting 2 million, 1 million, and you go home? But when you go back, you will find that school is struggling financially. So it is our quest to make sure that we give freedom, we bring freedom, financial freedom to schools by engaging and working with the very same business people and say, what is that we can do together to make sure that the schools are properly, good in terms of finance, and that will only happen if we come together and work together. So that is why we are having this business breakfast, so that as we interact around the issue of governance, we include everything that we know that they are developmental in terms of schools. Remember, we are doing all these things. The core center or the core part of the whole thing is a child. We should not have any other different interest. Our interest must be the child. Our interest must be the results of the school, and we make sure that there's a development in terms of making sure the education of our children is of good quality. So the interest here is a child, nothing else. So coming together as partners, as stakeholders, our goal is to make sure that an education for a child of Africa, a South African child, is of good quality. So ladies and gentlemen, with those words, I want to welcome you as we are going to engage and make sure that these engagements should not be just an ordinary engagement or the engagement that are done just to socialize. This must be the engagement that as we go out of this, we see the vision of changing the Free State. Remember, the Free State is the best in terms of the results, it's the best in terms of performance. It should be the best in terms of governance. And that will only happen as we work together as stakeholders, as partners, to make sure that we achieve this together as a team. Thank you very much, and you are all welcome. Thank you very much, Program Director.
This is not controversial, but I used to play soccer, and I believe I was fairly good. And to demonstrate that, my nickname then was Ace. So for anyone who was born after 1990, you won't even know what value that word meant. But I used to play soccer. Even the first team goes kolong, but now usually I had to bring my certificate along, because then I had beards faintly at the time, but they always thought I was 3 or 4 years older than I really was. But I used to play in the middle field, either position 8 or position 10. I wish I could do as better or equally as Gaba or Benjamin Reed, but no, I couldn't go that far. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we are almost there because I was told that we are nearing Nakoya Hoja. And it's so important for this announcement, because like most of you guys were here for 9 o'clock. And for reasons that were beyond our control, we had to start an hour late. But I can assure you, there will be enough. I tried to use my magic, the dessert, it didn't work out. But you will have your meat, you will have your fully enriched and breakfast. So I will then maybe call upon Ndate Tinani, Atlo introducer. We are expecting a message of support from is it the union? Because the message of support is from
Amanda, our colleague said we arranged with the provincial secretary to come and speak to them.